All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the World UnVEXed. This is episode number 3 called The New World's Order. My name is Andrew Dolan. So excited. We are about ready to make our pilgrimage to the VEX Robotics World Championship. This will be about the 13th time that I've been able to do this. I am so excited for the World Championship, the greatest 2 minutes in robotics. And I'm also excited for this evening's episode. We're going to have some real special guests, some great content to share with you guys. So if you're headed to the VEX Robotics World Championship, stay tuned. And always like and subscribe. And we're going to start right away with our first segment. Let's bring in the Spin Up Tour rock and roll MCs. We've got Botatomic and MCReichley joining us. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. You have been to 16 different VEX Robotics events throughout this spin-up season. You're selling sweatshirts. I want to hear all about your adventure. Why are you doing this, guys?
We can't get enough of robotics.
Yeah, and we're crazy. We're crazy about robotics. I mean, we just go nonstop, and you get a certain amount of energy from robotics, from going to tournaments and then you stop and you realize like how much robotics was sustaining you.
Yes. It was very hard to do. There were some weeks or some months. It was like tournament week, weekend off, tournament, and then the last 4 were all together. So back to back, and then it stopped. And now I'm going through withdrawals. Like, I cannot wait for next week. And we had it down to a science. Like, Matt and I traveled a lot this year. And we just got it down, like how we get through security, sleeping on the plane, like all of that. It's been a really amazing time. We've gotten to meet a lot of really amazing teams. And it's really cool to go to so many different places and then get to see a lot of familiar faces at World Championship.
So I love your passion, and this is crazy for you to travel around that much. I mean, you must have spent tens of dollars of your own money to do this.
We are very, very lucky. Every year we shoot to break even. We are fortunate enough that we have really great event partners who do whatever they can to help us out getting there, whether that's airfare or hotels. I am a public school teacher. I teach kindergarten. So robotics is kind of my way to get a vacation in every once in a while. But yeah, if I was doing this on my own dime, there's no way that I could do as many tournaments as I could. So we came up with the idea for the sweatshirts just to try to make it easier to go to local tournaments. We had the opportunity to go to South Carolina to meet the Wigglebot's dog. So we had a really good time at Tigertown Throwdown. But it's harder for those local smaller tournaments to be able to pay for travel and for accommodations. And we would love to do those local tournaments and get to see kids on their journey. And we don't necessarily get to see as many teams if we only stick to states or to signature events. So we came up with the idea. Matt actually reached out to the SIGbots to do the art.
The same guy who designed the Produce SIGbots shirt. They put me in contact with him, and he did all of our art for us. And I mean, it came out awesome. It was super sweet to do that. And
right. Can you still buy these sweatshirts somewhere?
Yes. Yeah. So if you find either of us, we both have it in our Instagram link trees. The link to the Teespring site where you can buy these, and they'll probably be on sale until the end of Worlds, maybe a little after, and then we'll be gearing up for how we're going to start trying to help fund next year's tour as again we try to go to more local events. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, this year we got to go to Mall of America. Thank you, Andrew. Haunted, the Kalahari Classic, Mecha Mayhem up in Canada. This is our first international year that we traveled all the way. Yeah, pulls down the
trophy. They're beautiful. Right? They're beautiful trophies.
They are. And those big events, it's really easy to get to them. Even Maine and Virginia States, like those events get a lot of big sponsors involved, and that's awesome that they can do that, host big events, and bring in a bunch of like talented volunteers to make the event be super awesome. And we want to make, my focus and Leslie's focus too when we started was to make the local events feel as awesome as like a sports ball game. Like you go to a football game and then kids are talking about that at school the next week, and they're like, oh, did you see all this stuff? And we wanted the kids that came from a robotics weekend where they competed to feel the same way when they walked into school. Like I did something awesome, like something incredible, and I was the key focus, and I was the person who did the thing. And that's like what's been so important. And while it's amazing to do that at the large scale events, it's also really awesome to do things like we traveled to South Carolina. I went to Tennessee a couple of years ago, like literally slept in my car outside the event, like to make it happen. Like those things are awesome because those kids aren't used to it. They're used to like going and showing up and seeing their teacher like ref the event, and then but like to have someone come in that they've seen at all these big events and also be like, oh, he's here at Tiger Town Throwdown, or like my high school gymnasium or whatever they're in. We want to reach those students as much as we reach the state's qualifiers, the signature event attenders, and all that as well.
So you guys, I just absolutely love the passion. Matthew, what do you do in your spare time when you're not running around sleeping in your car?
So I work as a systems engineer. So I do that for work. Great job, great time. And what do? I play Magic the Gathering, which if you've ever wondered what this sleeve is all about, the right arm is all Magic the Gathering stuff. So I play Magic the Gathering. I run events in my comic shop. And then I also play a sport called quadball, which I was recently at the national championship for this weekend. So if anyone's on my Instagram, they got to see me fail really hard all weekend long. It was a wonderful event, but we did not do very well.
So you two are you're UnVEXed robotics celebrities by now. I mean, you have a following online. Did you ever think that you would have, such a presence online and at these events, and that this would be a part of your life as big as it is?
I have to be honest. Like, yeah. So back in the day, before I met Leslie, this is where I always wanted to be. Was here doing this stuff with the Instagrams and like I wanted to get to this level, and it wasn't until I met Leslie and started working with Leslie, and then Leslie stepped up, and then that made me step up, and then that made her step up, and that made me step up.
Yeah.
And yeah, just back and forth, and now we're here. Like I would have never actually gone through with it, but working together, we're both like extremely like surprised that we've gotten as far as we have, but also like super excited to keep going and seeing how far we can go to bring this like our passion again to robotics and the students and the competitors.
I think I'm just grateful. Like it's been a really wild ride. I'm just so grateful for not only event partners that reach out to us to get us to, travel to their events, but the fact that students will ask for us to come to their events. Or sometimes we're lucky enough to, like, I know Potassium Gears 772K, they sent me a care package. So like a personalized like Botatomic sweatshirt, and like I'm in awe of that because we were talking earlier before we started that like the kids inspire us, but like I follow a ton of robotics teams on social media, and to like go to Mecha Mayhem and get to meet like the Rock Lobsters, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are here, and they're like, yes, and I'm like, no, like I watch you, like I follow you on Instagram, like I see your builds, I see your reveals, getting to chat with freedom gladiators and like looking at, opportunities for like young women in STEM and getting to be part of these conversations with powerhouse teams that I'm just in awe of. So yeah, shocked that we've made it this far. Shocked that I do have that kind of following online, because it really is just, I'm always grateful whenever kids reach out, whenever we get another opportunity. We were lucky this year, like 16 opportunities to go do the thing that we love. And that's just hyping robots, hyping kids, being part of it.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, I love the passion. I love being able to share the stage a little bit with you as MCs. And as MCs, we could talk the entire segment, but we do have to move forward here. So thanks again. I look forward to seeing you at Worlds. I look forward to see all the new bling that you're bringing, and just have a great time. So thank you so much. And with that, you want to have any closing remarks?
Yeah.
I'll be. Oh, how's it go? You got this one.
See you on the field.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Moving on to our next segment here. It's called Where's the Stuff? We're going to bring in a couple of experts here. Mark Zink from Mankato, Paula Mortensen. She's coming to us from Adams, Minnesota. And they're going to be talking about a couple of changes this year for the VEXed Robotics World Championship. Let's bring them in.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Good to see you. Just wanted to quick, congratulations again getting to Worlds, and just wanted to quick take you on a little bit of a virtual tour. I know that there are a lot of maps out there, a lot of places that you can find this information, but we thought it'd be really helpful just to bring it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and try and remember how to share my entire screen here so that I can get things going. And of course, I'm sharing the wrong one, but let's see. Okay, so here we go. If you were to go to the drop-off zone at K. Bailey Hutchinson, this is kind of what it looks like. There's a great big turnaround there. You can see there's downtown Dallas, etc., just to kind of get your bearings straight. And then what you are going to do is you are going to go in these big doors here into the inside. And this is what you'll run into. There are escalators here and right around the corner here, so that you can get upstairs. Upstairs on the second floor is where most of the stuff is going to take place. This is the AB lobby right outside. You can see the escalators. Oh, where'd they just go? They're down the hallway a little bit. There are the escalators. This is huge. I'm just going to pop up really quick. So where we're at right now on the second floor, this is the AB lobby. And so this is where the middle school arena is going to be. That's the same thing that was there last year. They're the practice fields. And then if you can see here, they've got Hall C, D, and E. This is where all of the competition, the divisions are. And so just to kind of get acclimated here, we've got the pit admin. If you are uncertain where to pick up things, where to answer, get some questions answered, etc., you can run into the pit admin. You can get your team medals. For closing ceremony, you are going to be able to pick up 9 to 10 closing tickets for your per team, so that you can go ahead and get into the VEXed Dome. If you have spectators, just a quick reminder that those spectators, everybody needs to have their special bling when they're walking in. We got to hear Matt and Leslie's awesome story, and those spectators are also important. Remember, spectators need to start check-in on Monday, the 24th. I did put a special request in to see if spectators could possibly start checking in on Sunday, but haven't heard back yet. So this is where the spectators are going to go. It's kind of on this whole concourse on the second floor. And then if you are going to the high school is all the way down here over to the F hall. And so it's kind of a long trek, but it shouldn't be that bad to find. And so that is where the high school is going to be competing the first few days, and they've got their practice field. So if you were there last year, remember skills was way off in the corner here. They've done a great job of relocating skills for us this year. And so it's right in the C lobby. The C ballroom is right here. And so teams will get inspected in here. Here's the main competition area. Again, the high school is on F hall. Down there in A and B hall are where the middle school teams are. And you can go ahead and pick up all of your things there. So I believe that we're going to have the link to those virtual tours. And if you're really unsure of where you're going, if you go to that link in the virtual tour, it's really nice. You can pop this up and you can kind of go to any of the areas in the Kay Bailey and see where it is that you are looking for and what it is that you want. So hopefully you guys find that this is a little bit helpful, if anything. And I'm going to turn it over to Mark as he is going to be sharing some of his great stuff with you and talking about things to pick up.
Yeah, thanks, Paula. Just a couple things too. Division lists did come out today, and you can actually go out to the VEXed Via app, and all the teams are listed in the VEXed Via app and updated that when they came out today. So that's kind of cool to go right to that on your phone. For picking up, you need last minute parts. If you place an order by this Thursday at noon, you can pick those parts up on or after next Tuesday, January 25th, from the VEXed store down there. So you can, and during checkout, you can select that you want to pick up at VEXed Worlds. And then if you're looking at getting game elements, I'm not quite sure that they're going to hand out the free elements like they did in previous years, but you can pre-order for the VRC side. You can pre-order the game sets. They're not going to have full game sets available for pickup at Worlds, but you can get just the game elements that you can pre-order and pick up. The store is open like 30 minutes after they unveil the new game, but then they also will have elements to pick up on Friday the next day. VEXed IQ then will have both their full sets and simple game element sets available as well. So lots of great stuff. Biggest thing I can say, the map's there and it's awesome and everything. And going to Dallas the first time last year, just go and explore and, meet tons of new people and have fun and see the site and enjoy yourselves while you're there.
See you guys at Worlds.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thank you very much, Mark, Paula, and also that if you need any of the VEXed Robotics components, make sure that you pre-order those things and have them ready for pickup. There's been some new information sent off there. You never know, you might need another motor, something might break, you maybe need another shaft, who knows? So pre-order that stuff so you make sure you have it in inventory if you're something that you're low on. We're going to move on now to the virtual drivers meeting, and we've got some incredible Vexperts that are joining us all the way from Ohio area. Let's bring in John Queen and his entourage.
Hey, good job, guys. We are waiting to hit the ground in Texas to watch you guys compete, and we're so excited, but we want to cover some of the major rule changes from the drivers meeting.
Okay, so head refs, we've met, we've had some discussions, we've talked about some stuff. So I'm just putting it out there so everyone knows what we've discussed and you know what to look out for. And hey, we've got a whole week. High schoolers, you got time. IQ, you have almost a week and a half maybe. And then middle schoolers. First thing, SG4, you're dangling strings for early expansion. Fix them now, guys. Just fix them. Make sure your strings don't dangle. Work on your end game so it's tight and you wouldn't have any of that. Because the problem with dangling string is you leave it under a head ref discretion. If you leave it to a head ref discretion, you probably won't like the outcome because someone's not going to be happy with the way we decided it. And then SG7 is possession limit. Fix that. Make sure you can't hold more than 3 discs. You can only have 3 at a time. You cannot score if you have a 4th disc. So please make sure that you're taking care of that. You have to stop playing the game. You can't do anything else until you get rid of that extra disc. Work on it now. Fix away. I've seen some bots out there. I've seen some reveals. Pronounce this. Great design. 4th disc comes in. It shoots it right out. That's great. That's what we're looking for. That'll help you out. And then SG8B, discs on the autonomous line. Guys, those are fair game to both alliances. Anybody can go to them. That's why they're in there. So we just consider it like a dodgeball line. So that's where the ball's going for dodgeball. So any robot can go get it. It is only against the rules if you cross that double white line and touch the gray tile on the other side, or actually touch another robot. But then there's going to be some head ref discretion. So those discs are free to anyone. If they go over to pick one up and they knock one over to your side, it's not a penalty. And then Clint's going to tell you guys on the IQ side what to keep an eye out for.
Yep, Vex IQ guys, teams, keep an eye out for G6, the driver switch. Remember, you switch between 35 and 25 seconds. Don't be late on that switch. Also, they are allowing one driver team, but remember, you need to put that remote down at the 25-second left mark in the game. G14, crossing the fence line. This is one of the most important ones that you need to know, and make sure this week and next week, as you're preparing to leave, make sure that you understand G14, and that's crossing the fence line. Remember, a robot can only extend over the fence line, which is that black line underneath the fence and the bar, if it's contacting one of the expansion zones on the side, and there are no exceptions, none. The first time it happens without affecting the score, it'll be a minor violation, which is a warning. But if it keeps happening, it can and will become a major violation and a disqualification for the matches. And remember, whether it's IQ or VRC, remember, it is the head ref call. At the end of that, once the head ref makes the call, it stands.
Yep.
So there's a lot more. I also want to point out, make sure that you take the time to go watch the driver's meeting for both IQ and VRC so you understand 100%. VRC, make sure that you are at 1.1.1 on your brain firmware. 1.1.2 is better, or you will not be able to compete.
Yes. And then one key on inspection. This year it's going to be different. So all the head refs are going to be in inspection. We're all going to be there. Robots are going to come in. You're going to pre-print your form out. You're going to fill it out. It's going to be all filled out and signed. You checking it and filling it out and signing it is saying, I agree, my robot's going to pass inspection. Then we're going to go through different stations and we're going to look at your robot. And at that point, everyone knows we've all competed, but there's the biggest change this year. There's no special times. You don't sign up. You don't have a special time. You got to get there. You need to get inspected before you can start your skills runs. And remember, you can start your skills runs on the first day. So it's very, very important. Get there, get them done, get in line. The line will move quick. We're going to have all the refs there. We're going to have plenty of help. Don't forget, that's very important this year.
Yep. And if you can help out, if you're an adult, please volunteer. I know that volunteering is super important, and you'll get to meet a lot of cool people. You get to meet John, but you get to meet a lot of the other people that are here on the program as well that volunteer. So that's all I have. Hey, good luck.
Good luck, guys.
All right, I'm going to bring them back on camera for just a second because I've been watching some social media, and one of the things that I come across is people are saying those referees are looking for that moment. They're looking for that thing that's going to get a team disqualified, and it's that gotcha moment. It's like, yes, I got to disqualify a team. John, Clint, excited about disqualifying teams?
Okay, let's talk about DQs. I'm just there to enforce the rules the way they're written. Play the game the way the game is written and the game was designed. I do not get any joy out of DQing a team. Sometimes it really pains me to DQ teams. So that's something we don't want to do. I love great matches, tight matches, things are played. You're playing offense, you're scoring discs, everyone's doing awesome. And then it's a real tight game. We're getting in. There's a little bit of defense going on. Roller play is coming in. And then at the final 2-3 seconds, we got string flying all over the place. I don't want to see that string go out. I want it to stay in the field because that's been a great match all the way up to then. DQs, we do not know. I do not know a head ref who is happy to DQ a team. There should be no reason to DQ a team. We are just there to make sure everything falls in the guidelines, but DQs is something we do not want to do.
Yep. One of the things that I want to add is remember the head refs are there to help you. We're trying to guide you before we have to make the DQ call. So one of the things is we want you interacting with us, but we don't yelling at us. We don't want to be yelling at you. So just remember, keep that rapport there, because what you don't want to do is early on in qualification matches kind of get on the bad side or make yourself known to a ref.
All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your response and 100% agree with it, that we're just here to enforce the rules as written, and it's heartbreaking to see a team that's at the top of their game and then, that string went out. It's hard. So thank you again. I look forward to seeing you guys. Have a great time at the VEXed Robotics World Championship. And let's bring in our next guests here to talk about how to coach at VEXed Robotics Worlds. What's it like? Man.
Hey, everybody. I'm here with two other amazing coaches. I think we talked briefly. I'm Todd, by the way. I'll leave it at that. You can look up everything else. I'm here with Christy and Paula, and I think between us we have well more than 30 years. They don't look it, I might, but more than 30 years of coaching experience at Worlds, right? Which should give you some. And we're just going to go with a few questions here that I've written out, and we'll try to give our answers. If you look at those other people, I wonder how much our group has for experience there. But if you do encounter us at the Worlds and we have a second, we're not running somewhere or on fire, just come and ask us stuff. We're as interested in your story as you might be in ours. So it's really important. And trust me, coaches, you'll need a fair bit of support here. But we're going to start with that. So I guess I'll start. Can I do this? Christy, one tip for a team before they go. Can you think of something you'd offer before? Before they get there, what's something they need to do?
Before you get there, don't overthink things. You know, you want to go, you want to have your toolbox that's packed with just everything that you need, but don't fret about missing that one thing. You know, you don't want to pack too much. The teams that are there, one of my most favorite things about the VEXed World Championship is the camaraderie of the pits. If you get there and you realize that you've forgotten something, ask around. I love that teams are there to help each other out as much as they are there to compete against each other. So while yes, you do want to be prepared and you want to make sure you have a variety of all those little things that you need, you don't need to bring the entire cabinet of parts.
Excellent. Paula, what would you add to that?
I like to add, we come from a really small town. We have 600 kids in our school, K-12. And I just like to remind them, you guys are winners already. You have done some really amazing things. And the fact that you're at Worlds, but I don't want you to give up. I want you to still try hard. I want you to do your very best. I want these to be your best skills runs, your best QR autons and finals, and have fun. This is quite an experience, one of the biggest learning experiences that I think our kids can have at this age. And so just remember, you're already a winner. You want to do well, but you're already a winner by being part of World. So just keep that in mind.
So I'll go with I'm going to ask another question here, and I'll start my own question. I know that's weird, but you're there, what goal are you going to set? And I'm going to set a goal for some of you coaches who are going for the first time to try to push onto the team is that you want to try to show up to every match on time and just be ready to run and not in a big panic. The place is big, as much as Paula did that great show. Until you actually walk it, you don't quite understand how far those things are. But just try to, if you can get to every match and the robot runs every match, you've done something at the Worlds, because I've had teams involved lots of years where, their partners aren't always running. So if you set that as a goal, you've achieved something, especially as a first-year team. Paula, would you add something to once you're there?
I think every year we've gotten a little farther, and I think it's given our kiddos the kind of the understanding that, hey, we can do this and we can make it. And so I really encourage them to branch out and meet new people. They're always going to be networking. Learning how to network at this age is such an important skill set, and we see that they're networking through social venues and social media, etc. So I encourage them to network across the globe, challenge themselves to find new people in their division that they've never seen or never heard of, and get to know them a little bit, find out about their culture. I just think, again, it's just a great opportunity for all our kids.
Christy, you got to add something to that.
That's hard because that is excellent advice from both of you. I would say, as far as a goal when you get there, to just really enjoy it. To kind of piggyback on what Paula said, we're so proud of them. It's such a huge accomplishment to make it to this point, and be proud of yourself. You're gonna have some things go your way. You're gonna have some things that might not go your way, but just one step at a time, one match at a time, and really just strive to do your best. And don't make that a cliche, but yes, your best skills run, your best anything. Those little goals are so important, and it makes it such an enjoyable experience.
I'm going to tack on one more question here before we go, kind of thing. But what's the most important thing you've learned as a coach, either for your team or for yourself? And I'll start back, and we'll go back the other way. So I'll start again with you, Christy, if that's okay.
Oh, wow.
So what's the most important? Now, that's a tough, big question. No. I've thrown you the huge question, right?
And I'm going to say something that Todd, I've learned from you, and I've learned from a lot of other coaches. When you get to this point, step back and let your kids do it. Let them take control, and this is student-centered. It's really hard. Sometimes as a coach, you want to kind of micromanage little things that are happening, but when teams make it to this level, they are perfectly capable of working through what they need to. They're perfectly capable of working. They're perfectly capable of making sure their skills runs. Yes, you're there for support, but let them do it. They're there.
So excellent. Yeah. Paula, you got to build on that or add to it?
It just is going to be reiterating the same thing. Spot on advice. These kids are amazing, and what they're able to accomplish is pretty crazy. I like to remind parents and remind myself, take a step back. Everything that we are saying should be encouraging and uplifting. We're not supposed to be coaching from the stands. We're not supposed to be doing any of that. And quite frankly, we don't need to. These kids are bright. They have gotten to this point, and they've got it under control. And so I think being just a great big cheerleader for them is really, really important. So what a privilege to be a part of this great student-centered program. I love what I see is happening with kids.
Yeah, I mean, I got to totally confirm what you two have said. The student-centered really matters. I mean, once you get to the Worlds as a coach, your kids have got there. They deserve some respect for that. Sometimes I just spend a bit of my time encouraging a few parents along that way too, that they got to understand their job then is to support those students and everything they've done to get there. It's not an easy path sometimes, and I'll tell you as a coach, it's a hard thing to do sometimes, step back. But I can tell you from the group we have assembled here today, one of the things I do at the Worlds, and I've had teams win, is I MC, or I find some other key volunteer position. So if you've really done your job, you can probably just meet with the kids at lunch. You can probably meet them after to debrief a bit, and you can actually go and help volunteer in certain areas. And I really encourage you to do that as a coach. It's hard at first. Trust me, it's hard, but I actually, and all of us here in this panel know that kind of thing works. Try to reach out to other coaches. Try to help everyone. it's an amazing thing, and the student-centered thing is the absolute power of it, right? That's the best thing about robotics and VEX robotics like this. So, hey, Andrew, I hope you're out there. I think we're going to turn this back over to you, and I think you got some questions or something for certain people.
All right. Thank you so much. That's some fantastic words that you guys have shared with us. The VEX Robotics World Championship, to me, is a family reunion. The people that I've met through this program are near and dear to my heart. I look forward to those. Send us an email, send us a comment on the video down below here. theworldunvexed@gmail.com is another way you can reach us. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you at the World Championships. And now we're going to open it up for Q&A. I don't know if we have any people on the live stream that are joining us today that would like to ask questions of any one of the panelists or volunteers that's helping us out today. Just waiting for those to come on in. It's that uncomfortable silence. While you guys are getting the nerve to type things in here, is there anybody else in the group that would like to continue chatting about something? You're welcome to jump in, let Aaron know. So, who's the math division referee and MC? I don't have that list pulled up, so if there's somebody that does, please let Aaron know. He'll get you in here. You're going to find out soon enough. And who's to say that the lists that have been published by the REC, things might happen and they might get jumbled up here. So I don't know offhand, and if there's somebody who does, please say something.
Wave your hand if you got the list.
Raise your hand, throw something on the chat.
Arts.
Hey, we're ready to go. I had one more thing. I know John is looking for something, but I had one more thing. I know tonight we've talked about everybody that's going to VEX, but what if you're not going to VEX? I want to make a plug here because I'm one of the live stream guys in Ohio. What if I'm not going to VEX Worlds? Hey, you can still join in all the fun because they have VEX TV, and you can find that at vexworlds.tv. I think it would be cool if people that weren't going were doing a watch party. You can watch opening ceremonies, but most importantly, you can watch the game review or the game reveal for next year. So that not everybody gets to go, but you can still take it.
All right, still no word on who's got this division, so let's move on to another piece here. We've got another question about John. What's this message got to say for
you? Me?
Yes.
Where's the Duncan? I don't have any Duncan. I'd love some Duncan. I love Duncan. A lot of Duncan.
Oh, what's your opinion about putting the sticker on the Duncan?
No, don't cover up the label, because when I take my selfie with it, I want you to see that I'm drinking Duncan. You guys get it. Oh, someone.
All right, still waiting for a few more pieces to come in here. How many world quals does Minnesota get next year? I don't think anybody has the answer to this. Rumors have been circulating that maybe Worlds won't have as many invites. Maybe we'll have greater signature events throughout the season, and fewer teams will actually advance to the World Championship. So I guess we'll just have to be patient and wait and see. And that's not something I'm good at. So you all can be impatient with me. Another question, will the Mall of America signature event be happening again this year? Yes! We're doing it. It's August 4th and 5th at the Mall of America. We're bringing in 100 teams from across the United States and hopefully some from other countries. Super excited to expand that. We found a little bit more space for the pit area. And Another question has come in. Are we going to be doing a Minnesota event at the Benton County Fair before the Mall of America? Either that or the expression is that the Benton County is greater than the Mall of America. Not really sure what the greater less than symbols are doing there. No Benton County. Looks like we're just going to be doing Mall of America. Perhaps Aaron has got some insight into that. They love carrying the stuff up and down the escalators and across the building for skills. Yes, must be broken zip ties comment there. I wonder if that's in regard to the World Championship. Yes. What is the most memorable moment from this season?
Let's take it around to everyone.
Man, I am going to pass this one over
One at a
to
time.
each individual person to answer.
Let's start with John.
Let's start up with John Queen. Most memorable moment from this season. What do you got?
Okay, I think the most memorable moment from this season is going to include all of us because our children won the Ohio State Championship. Now, they had help. There was a little team from Brecksville, 2011 Ember. Shout out. They struggled through. They made it. They won the Ohio State Championship. Ohio's tough, people. If you don't know, come join us. Come to Kalahari. See how tough Ohio teams are.
Yep, 100%.
All right, let's move on to Clint. What do you got? Most memorable moment, Clint?
That's mine. That's mine 100% is watching that team take the state championship. It's always one thing whenever it's your child to watch them succeed. And yeah, that's mine. That's mine.
Christy.
I don't know. I'm going to go with them.
Okay, fair enough. Let's keep it rolling here. Let's bring in Paula and Mark.
I think my most memorable moment was actually going to a K-8 building and talking to them about VEXed robotics and getting started in maybe VEXed IQ next year. I really enjoy going out and talking to other schools about what it means to be in robotics and kind of progress it in our state of Minnesota.
Fantastic. Paula.
I think it was my most memorable moment meeting Leslie at the Mall of America, just being part of that signature event, the first time been to a signature event, and just seeing the excitement and getting going early in that season was pretty phenomenal and pretty fun. So I think that'll be mine for this year.
That's next.
And with that, if Leslie's still with us, let's go see what she's got to say about her most memorable moment.
There are far too many. Like, this would be easier if we went down like each of the 16 tournaments we went to. But probably my most memorable moment, Matt and I had the opportunity to be mentors to teams at a local this year. And it was really cool to kind of experience that side of things, where we were there connecting teams, supporting our local teams in that kind of capacity instead of being the ones who are just talking all the time. It's kind of cool to see what goes on in the pits. So, like, shout out to Botatomic High School in Northern Virginia for allowing me to be one of their guest mentors for a local event.
Todd or Matt, your choice.
Thank you, Botatomic, and may the force be with you. Let's move on to MCReichley.
So first off, only because Afnan Ali is also in this community, I have better stats coaching his Woodbridge team than he does from that one event alone. Just saying. But for me, it has to be a certain 8-second clip that came out of the Haunted Signature event where Illyria Project 25 in autonomous mode turned and shot me with 2 discs, and I immediately became memed all over the internet. And it has been it has put a target on my head for every team at every event I've been at to hit me with a disc. And it has led to more and more funny situations as the seasons progressed. We even have they even made little stickers out of it. So
I love
it
it.
was pretty hilarious.
Thank you. Hey, Todd, are you still there? Most memorable moment from this season?
Well, I'm first going to maintain it hasn't happened. It'll happen in about a week and a bit, anyhow, for a lot of teams. But I think for us and where I am, I'm on the west coast of Canada, people that don't know, and almost every category we have, we're now bigger than we were in 2019, and everyone knows what kind of happened between those two dates, right? So it feels pretty good to see Vex not only just hold its own, to completely recover and be growing again here. And that's a kind of favorite thing, because it means there's more of those amazing students involved in what we do. But I still maintain the best things are going to happen in the next week.
Fantastic. My most memorable event is kind of comedic. Had an opportunity to MC the Vex IQ State Championship Tournament in Minnesota, and I was having such a ball. There was a problem the second to the last match, and there was all this dead time to kill, and I was out there. We were dancing. We were doing the YMCA and the Macarena, and the DJ and I were just feeding off each other perfectly. Then we were ready for that final match. And we started with Thunderstruck, and the music is going and people are stomping their feet and the kids are doing an amazing job. They absolutely just nailed it on the slap shot. Definitely got the highest score, and we're waiting for the score to be revealed up on the big screen. And I'm down on my knees with this microphone talking to this kid I'm still taller than him. And I asked, "Are you ready?" And I show the score, and I'm like, "Are you excited? You just received an invitation to the Vex Robotics World Championship." And the kid looks at me and he's like, "The coach said we're not going." And it was just a great build-up and then flat. So anyway, thank you so much. We're going to see you guys at the Vex Robotics World Championship and on the next episode of UnVEXed. Thank you.
Ten seconds, then we'll be clear.